Here's why you play Dark Awakening Li Xin in the Clash Lane in Honor of Kings. First off, his damage is relatively consistent, meaning he has great sustained damage. He excels in 1v1 duels and less in team fights. His playstyle is unique in a sense where he's extremely useful and fast at pushing towers. Lastly, he has high mobility to traverse around the map. However, he struggles against crowd control, making him vulnerable when his defensive skills are on cooldown. Additionally, he is weaker in team fights as said earlier, meaning you should either try split pushing constantly and pick fights properly. Li Xin's passive ability, Void Slice, makes every basic attack trigger an extra attack, allowing him to deal more damage with each strike. This enhances his sustained damage output and synergizes well with his skill effects. Dark Awakening Li Xin's first skill, Righteous Fervor, charges up, gaining bonus movement speed, continuous health regeneration, and crowd control immunity while charging. If he charges for over 1 second, he gains extra attack speed when the charge ends. Every time he hits an enemy with his basic attack, the cooldown of this skill is reduced, making it essential for staying in fights. Dark Awakening Li Xin's second skill, Brutal Gouge, swings his sword, releasing energy in a targeted direction, dealing physical damage, slowing enemies, and applying a gouge effect. Enemies affected by Gouge take extra bonus damage from his basic attacks. Against heroes, he also recovers health, making this skill a core part of his sustain and dueling potential. Dark Awakening Li Xin's ultimate, Shadow Seal, releases energy, creating a magic circle at his location. After a short delay, he deals significant physical damage to enemies within the area and launches them into the air. This skill is crucial for team fights and can be used to initiate or disrupt enemies. Dark Awakening Li Xin's special skill, Force Mastery, suppresses his inner wrath, switching to Domination Light form. He cannot be interrupted by crowd control effects while switching, allowing him to escape tricky situations or reposition himself in fights. A typical skill combo for Dark Awakening Li Xin is start with his second skill, Basic Attack, cast first skill, squeeze in a basic attack, first skill again, and finally cast the ultimate. This allows him to apply Gouge, dealing bonus damage, and finish with a powerful crowd control effect. Moving on to builds, Agility builds Boots of Fortitude, Spark Forged Dagger, Doomsday, Blood Rage, Shadow Ripper, and finally, Ominous Premonition. These are the arcanas that go along with this build. As for common skills, the best common skills for Dark Awakening Li Xin in my opinion are Intimidate and Frenzy. Intimidate helps reduce incoming damage and disrupt enemies, while Frenzy boosts his damage output in fights. Dark Awakening Li Xin is strong against fighters and tanks who rely on slow, telegraphed attacks as he can outmaneuver them with his sustain and mobility. However, Dark Awakening Li Xin struggles against ranged heroes and high burst mages who can poke him down before he gets close. Crowd control heavy heroes also can lock him down, preventing him from using his abilities effectively. Prioritize upgrading second skill first as it provides high damage and sustain. First skill to secondary upgrade for mobility and attack speed boost. Most importantly, upgrade level up his ultimate whenever available. Dark Awakening Li Xin excels in prolonged fights, so use your first skill wisely to engage while benefiting from its sustain and crowd control immunity. His second skill applies Gouge, making basic attacks deal extra damage. Take advantage of this by weaving in auto attacks between skills. His ultimate is best used when multiple enemies are grouped together, ensuring maximum disruption. Be mindful of crowd control heavy enemies, as they can prevent you from fully utilizing your sustain and damage. Lastly, don't forget that his special skill lets him switch forms while avoiding crowd control. Use it to reposition or escape dangerous situations if possible. That wraps up this guide on Dark Awakening Li Xin in the Clash Lane. With his sustain, mobility, and crowd control, he can dominate fights and control the battlefield. Master his combos, time his abilities well, and you will become an unstoppable force.